A lot has happened in this year. A lot has happened even since my Spain vlog a year ago. As you can tell probably from the title of this video, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Getting to that diagnosis is a whole story in itself. Long story short, you know, the American health system is trash. But I'll never forget, I was in Jamaica on a family vacation and my lab results came back, and my doctor called me and we had a conversation while I was in Jamaica, and she just pretty much told me that, you know, my levels were high. My levels were at 11 point something, which is super above the A1C, hemoglobin A1C levels of what they should be. It should always be, I think it's, I should know, but it has to be under a 6.5 or a 6, and I was at 11 point something. So, you know, she was very honest with me. You know, we had a conversation. This was my first time meeting her when she sent me to do all these tests, just again because healthcare, health insurance, job changes, all those things. But she was just very honest with me. She was very encouraging. She ended up letting me know that she would be leaving the practice in the state after, I think maybe a week or two after, you know, that phone call, which kind of sucked, because it left me having to find, you know, doctors again. But I remember that day being in Jamaica and just not rock bottom, I would say, just more so like, well, where do I go from here? You know, one of the things I remember thinking was like, okay, like, in the moment of like just being upset, I remember just going and getting a drink and enjoying the rest of, you know, my vacation. But, you know, one of the things I had to like think for myself is like, okay, is this life worth living? And I don't mean that in a form of like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself. It was more so in a form of like, a form of just, this is something that you're going to have to deal with. This isn't something that's gonna go away just like. So I just had to think like, okay, well, are you now prepared to take care of yourself? Are you now going to take, you know, your self-care seriously? And my answer was immediately yes. So what I did next was I got home from my vacation, and there was an Orange Theory that was opening up near my, like in my town, close to me. And so I called them, and I'm like, I'm at that point I wanted to give something a try, and, you know, just doing my research on Orange Theory, the ads would come up on my Instagram, and so then I just did like my research, and even on YouTube, and like I just saw like, you know, people were seeing results, and so I was like, let me give it a shot, right? I was open to looking for whatever would work at that point. Going to the gym was not working for me. My attention span, I needed something with discipline. I needed something with discipline. I needed something that would hold me accountable. And that's what I was looking for. That's what I needed. I remember something that my doctor said was like, you know, she put me on metformin, and she was like, you know, we can revisit in a year what that looks like, not with her, but with, you know, another doctor. So I'll never forget going into Orange Theory and meeting, I guess, their their sales associate. No, she's not a sales associate, because she was like she was like a director at that time, but she's like moving around and stuff. But just, you know, and, you know, her connecting me to my coach at that time, and, you know, I was very honest with them. You know, I was very honest of why I was there, You know, I let them know that, you know, I'm not here to like run. I'm not a track star. We'll get into running in a few, but I'm not a track star. You know, I need something to get me moving. I need something to hold me accountable. I need something that gives me the specific workout and what I'm supposed to do and helps push me. And I'll never forget like my first class. Sorry. I'll never forget my first class and just being super nervous, and they were just like, just walk this class. For those of you who don't know, like Orange Theory is set up in a way of like there's like power walkers and there's like specific I guess routines for like power walkers, joggers and runners, and so I just power walked, and I just remember walking, and yo, power walking is serious. Like don't sleep on like just power walking, and like even walking even outside, like you really could sweat, and like it was a lot. And then, you know, I remember my coach at that time, like I guess towards the last like minute of class, she was like, try to run. She was like, don't push yourself too hard, just run. And I remember just like, okay, I'm gonna walk. I was walking, and then as the last minute came, she was like, try to run, and I did it. And you know, I think after that first interaction with the two of them, Jess and Courtney, I was sold. Honestly, I was sold because it didn't feel like they were selling me the program. They were actually trying to help me. And I think that's something that like I was like, oh, like, you know, like this isn't just like, hey, we're here to sell you this workout, like, you know, you should do it. It was more so like, what do you need? Let's try. Let's take it slow. You want to walk. If you're gonna walk, run. Like, it never felt like again, like they were selling me something. And so I signed up that day. And hopefully by this video I think I should be at 90 classes by the time I release this video. We'll see. But I signed up. I did I am an elite member, which means I have unlimited classes. I try to aim to go 3 to 4 times a week. I've been going. It's amazing what music can do to like push you. So like, for example, like if Rihanna's playing, if Rihanna's playing, I cannot stop. Like that's something that I put in my mind, like we can't stop our Riri, we can't stop. But you know, one of the things that like I've really been pushing myself is to run a little bit longer, which I have been, but like I find myself starting off as a power walker and then going into you know, running, because I really want to push myself to continue running. And those who know me know I do not like to run. Like ever since I was little, like I could never complete a mile. Like I just, if there was one thing that made me feel like less than, was like running, working out, but like just running it. And it's so interesting that that's kind of what Orange Theory like is, and that's something that, you know, has helped my weight loss journey and my growth that I've seen. Back to, I guess, medical stuff. I I met with my endocrinologist, and immediately, I feel like every doctor I've seen after I saw my doctor with a diagnosis, I cried. So I met with a new OBGYN because I was on new insurance. I had just started a new job in August. Like a few days after my vacation, I was starting a new job, so I had to wait for my insurance to kick in to start setting up appointments with everybody. My OBGYN, you know, she was just like, you know, this is something that you're gonna have to take care of, because, you know, if you want to have children. Immediately started breaking down. And she was just like, chill out. She was like, she was very like, she was very honest and open, but she was just like, chill out. She was like, you are only 29. She was like, I know what stats says, I know what people are saying. She was like, besides your diabetes, you are healthy, and so if you get this under control, what can stop you? I finally got an appointment again in the healthcare system with my endocrinologist in November, and he is such a sweet man. I remember going in, brings you here, you know, I see these results and tears. And he's just like handing me the tissue, and he's just like listening. Literally, like, he sat in a chair in front of me and he just listened. And he kind of, you know, gave me the talk that my other doctor gave me. He was like, you know, these are your decisions. He was like, not in the terms of like, this is what you decided to do, da, da, da. He's like, you seem to have a want. You know, the want's gonna have to come with work. You know, I'm gonna give you certain things. Ask questions. Let me know. What do you think? Let's figure this out together. And at that point in November, I started taking Manjaro. So the pharmacy gave me the wrong dose. I was at 5 when I should have been at 2.5. And I'll never forget the first time me taking Manjaro. I took it on like a Saturday, and because he was like, you know, take it on a day, you don't have to do too much. I took it on a Saturday. That night I only had to babysit, and I remember taking it, feeling okay, waking up from a nap and feeling my body ache. Kind of like, it reminded me of like when I get like the flu, but it wasn't too deep. And then I remember eating and then going to babysit, and like my stomach just hurt. Like, it was like almost one of those things of like when you eat too much and it just hurt. And you know, it went away a little bit. I drank some water, went away, and literally I think that night or the next day I ate again. And yeah, it was the next day, and I was just home that day, and I threw up everything. Like the Saturday before I went to babysit, I had like some like Qdoba, and I threw it all up, all of it up. I don't know where I left off, but I feel like I spoke about, I don't know if I spoke about medication, so I guess we'll start there. So my doctor prescribed me metformin, my primary care. And then I met with my endocrinologist, and he had started me on, I did talk about, I would say, with taking my medication, with actively going to the gym at least twice. I used to, in the beginning, I would do three times a week. That's still a goal of mine, but one of the things I have been able to stick to is 2. 6:15 a.m. classes have been working for me, compared to evening classes, because I'm drained after working. I can say almost a year later, I am down 22 pounds, and a few more to go. My A1C is down from 11 to, I believe it's like a 5.8, which is, or 5.3, I don't remember honestly, but it's around the 5s. My next check-in is in September. Have any questions, comments, like this video, give it a thumbs up. This health journey isn't just set in stone and done with, you know. This is something that I'm gonna have to be dealing with for forever. It's kind of like healing, right? Healing isn't linear. There's no time limit on healing. Even though sometimes I wish there were. There's no time limit on healing. There's no timing on healing. And same thing with your health. Your health journey is forever evolving, right? What works today may not work 5 years from now. But I think for me, I stay encouraged because I know there's a want for me to have a better quality of life. Please don't think that I don't drink my Sprites and my ginger ales and have my candies. I'm learning balance. I'm learning priority. And I'm just learning. I'm still learning. honestly, a year later, I'm still learning. There are things that I still don't know. But yeah, that's my story. Yeah, comment down below if you have any questions, if this is your story also. But I will see you hopefully soon, I promise, in the next video.